Let's talk about random numbers. We are going to use the mod operator to generate random numbers in our C++ programs. We are going to take some integer n and mod it by another number, and that will generate random numbers for us. For example, if we take some number n and we mod it by 2, our possible remainders would be 0 or 1. The only remainders when you divide a number by 2 are 0 if the number is divisible by 2, or 1, meaning it's an odd number and there's 1 remaining. If we take a number and we mod it by 3, this will give us possible remainders 0, 1, or 2. If we take a number and we mod it by 10, this will give us possible remainders of 0, 1, all the way to 9. Right? If a number is divisible by 10, the remainder will be 0, and then other possible remainders would be 1 through 9. So we're going to use that logic to generate random numbers between two numbers. To simulate a die rolling, we would need to generate numbers 1 through 6. And since the mod operator will give us numbers 0 through some number, we're going to have to change the starting point of our random number to 1. So to do that, we're going to take a number, mod it by 6. This will give us a random number between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the possible remainders. Now, if we take that number and we add 1 to it, then we will generate a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So this would be the algorithm for generating a number between 1 and 6. So now we need to figure out, well, how do we randomly get some integer n? And to do that, we're going to use a function called rand that will generate a number, a big integer that we can then mod by some other number. So to generate our n integer, we're going to use a function called rand. And this is the function called to rand. And in order to get that function, we're going to have to include the cstd library. And so you'll have to add this to the top of your program. And just to show you how rand works, I'm going to just put this in a cout statement and run my program. And you can see it generates a big integer that looks like this. Now let's run it again. If you notice, it's generating the same integer over and over again because the algorithm for generating this random number starts at this number. So if I were to just run this 2 times, you can see this is the starting point, and then the next number generated is a different random number. But it starts at the same integer each time. So in order to change this, we can seed our random number generator. And what seeding means is just to create a different starting place to generate our random integer. And in order to seed, we're going to include a different library called ctime. And this will give us access to a function called time. And I'm going to run this function called srand. This is seeding our random number generator, and I'm going to pass it the result of a call to the time function. And I'm going to put the null like that. So when I run it again, you can see now I have a different starting point for my random numbers. And I can run it again, and you can see it's a totally different integer. So seeding your random number generator with the result from a call to time will change the starting point of your random numbers. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and generate a few random numbers. So in order to generate a random number between 1 and 6, we will call the rand function and mod it by 6. This will give us a random number between 0 and 5, and then we'll add 1 to that. And you can see that 2 is generated. So I'm going to run it several times, and you can see the numbers that were generated: 2, 5, 4, 2, 6, 2, 5, 1. It looks like all the numbers, except for 3, were generated using this expression. There is a general algorithm that you can use to generate random numbers between some min and max value, and I've added that as a comment on line 9. So we're going to generate that big integer and then mod it by this expression: max minus min plus 1 plus min. That'll generate any random number between some min and max values. So for example, if I wanted to generate a random number between 20 and 29, min would be 20, max would be 29, so the resulting call would be rand mod, and then my max would be 29 minus the min plus 1 plus min. And you can see it generated a number at 23. And that's how you use rand to generate random numbers in C++.